For longer than humanity remembers, the gods ruled. Humanity served as slaves, but life never remains in balance. Power passed to man, and man banished the gods from the world. But something was released. Something older than man has risen. Given their freedom, humanity must fight for survival. Some cling to safety, others fight. It is a time where a man's choices define him.
Yeah, but I think I drank half the ocean.
Do you remember much about what happened?
Just that strange man from the Inquisition. And the storm. He sailed us straight into it. And then he vanished. The ship must have capsized and we got washed ashore.
Looks like the poor devils over there weren't as lucky as us.
Any idea where we are?
No. Maybe it's another island.
We should get off this beach. This wreckage could draw looters, and they don't like survivors. We're going to need a weapon. Do you think you could have a look around? See if the tide washed up something we can use? A club, a branch. Anything is better than nothing, right? I'll stay here and keep an eye out for other survivors.
I've got something I can use, if we need to fight.
Are you going to maybe equip it? Bit hard to use if you don't. Take it out of your bag and put it on your back. It'll be easier to get to if you need it.
I'm ready. Shall we go?
No time like the present. There must be a path somewhere that leads inland. Let's look for one. Careful. I thought I saw something move in the trees. Get ready. Draw your weapon. must have been attracted by the smell of the bodies. At least we have some meat now. We need a fire or a stove. If I have to eat rat, I'm not eating it raw. And if we can find a pan, we can fry it. Fried meat will help restore our energy, even if it is just rat. We could really do with a few healing plants too. Perhaps there's some that grow around here. Keep a lookout. Cave seems a little eerie. Let's find a different way, please. This doesn't feel right. There must be people nearby. Do you think we should head for where the torches are? Look, it's a house. Looks abandoned. I wonder what happened here.
Something must have driven the occupants away.
Whatever it was, it's certainly not warming me to this place.
Let's take a look around. We might find something useful.
You have a look inside, and I'll keep a watch out here. I'll call if any more of those rats turn up.
Now who could teach me to pick locks? Doesn't look like there's been anyone in this house for a while. All I found was a locked chest.
Unless you have the key or a talent for picking locks, it's going to stay locked.
I've opened the chest.
Find anything useful?
Just a frying pan. Everything else is junk.
Oh well, at least you can fry up that meat. I could do with a little fried meat right now. You're probably starving too, and we can pretend it's venison.
I think that's cooked. It smells good. Looks good. Here's your fried meat.
At least if you don't think about where it came from. Hey, that's not bad.
We should head further inland.
You go on. I really need to rest. That storm took it out of me. I feel exhausted. I'm going to stay here for a while.
Okay. I'll come back and get you when I know a bit more about this place.
Don't worry about me. Be careful out there. I saw a path to the north. Looked like it led further inland. Maybe there's a village or something up there.
Hey, you there. What are you doing here?
Whoa, keep calm. I'm no threat.
I'm the one with the sword, and so I'll decide that, got it? Let's try again. What are you doing here?
The boat I was on sank. I landed on the beach.
So one of the crew survived the storms, eh? We'd heard it was just the Inquisitor. You don't look like you're with the Inquisition.
I was a stowaway.
On an Inquisition ship? You're lucky they didn't catch you and throw you overboard, or worse, turn you into one of them. Someone or something is looking out for you. And I ain't gonna mess with that. But don't stretch your luck. The White Robes catch you here, you'll be in trouble. If you want my advice, then find yourself a good weapon. You won't get far without one. There may be something around here. Have a look. Come back to me when you've found something.
Found this sword.
Good. I hope you know how to use it.
There's a girl came ashore with me. She's in an abandoned house to the south.
South? Must be the old shipwrecker's house. I'll head that way later. If she's there, I'll take her somewhere safe.
What can you tell me about this place?
What do you want to know?
Looks like I'm going to be stuck here for a while. Anywhere I can get some food or pick up some gold?
Ha! Not round here at any rate. I just asked for this post so I can watch the storms. Amazing things when they blow past. Strange how they never come inland. A few weeks ago I would have sent you to Harbour Town, but not anymore.
Why not?
It's full of Inquisition. Protecting those ruins and recruiting for the damn White Robe cult at the monastery. I'm with the Don myself. We're the only ones who are still free. Living in a camp in the middle of a swamp. But freedom's freedom. I'd head to the swamp. See if the Don will take you in. Or try your luck in Harbour Town. Just stay away from the monastery.
So is Harbour Town safe? What are the Inquisition doing there?
Not much at the moment. There are still some of our boys in there. They might help you out. And that White Robe lot probably won't bother you too much. I can show you the way, but believe me, you'd be better off at our camp.
You mentioned a monastery. What happens there?
The last place you want to be. It's where the Inquisition train their recruits. Brainwash them. Stay well away from there.
What's the Don got to offer me?
Meat, beer, a job. He might even train you as a fighter. You got a sword after all. Most they'll let you have up at the monastery is a staff. Just a big stick. That's not a real weapon.
All right, show me the way to your camp.
Good man. Follow me. Look to the north. You see the ruins sticking out of the ground?
Yeah, I've seen ones like that before.
Well, the White Robes set up a camp there. If you're smart, you won't be seen up there. Otherwise, you'll be snatched up and taken to the monastery. Do you want to be a slave or a free man?
You're really hammering this home, aren't you?
Sorry. You're right, you're your own man. Free to do what you like. Come on. It isn't much further. If you follow the path north, you'll come to our camp. And watch out for the hunters. The lazy beggars are always trying to get others to do their work for them.
Thanks for your help.
You've been through enough. You deserve a bit of kindness. I'm sure I'll see you around. Good luck.
Hey, you. Where do you think you're going?
I'm just taking a look around.
Just messing. Have to make my own entertainment. Gets a bit boring round here. Apart from the rotworms eating people. I'd stay on the walkway and not go too far out into the swamp. Believe me, being eaten by those creatures is not the way a man should go. Hang on, I think I've got a map somewhere you can have. Although by the looks of you, you could do with a better weapon.
I'm new around here. Got swept in with the tide. What can you tell me about this place?
Ah, I see. Well, then there are a few things you should know. This whole swamp area, from here to the temple in the north, it's run by Don Esteban, our leader. I wouldn't mess with him if I were you. He's got some fighters working for him that'd break your jaw as happy as look at you.
What can you tell me about the temple?
Came up from the ground about the time these storms started, and all these beasts came out of it. Never seen the like before. Indescribable they are. Our fighters soon sorted them out. I doubt there's much still alive in there. Well, apart from the Don. He's moved into the temple now. Don't see him very often. No one really knows what he's doing in there. Me? I say hunt, kill, and don't ask too many questions.
What are rotworms?
They can't really be described. Indescribable they are. They're like giant, rotting worms. You can ask Ricardo in the camp.
So, what's your boss doing in the temple?
I couldn't say for sure, but he's become very keen on collecting gold at the moment. He's got diggers working these ruins, and he always gives them a share. He's good like that. I think maybe he's planning on trying to take back Harbour Town. Gold commands a lot of power around here. Maybe even more than the Inquisition with their damn cult.
So, you haven't always been here in the swamp?
Nah, we used to have the whole of Harbour Town until the Inquisition came. All their magic and robes and stuff. They pushed us out here. Between you and me, I think the Don's pride took a bit of a knock. He hasn't been the same since. Most folks hate this place, but I like the fresh air. New things to hunt. Always felt too cooped up in town.
What else can you tell me about the Inquisition?
Same as everyone else, really. Don't get too close to them, or you'll find yourself dragged off to that monastery. They're not right in the head. I think they do something to them up there. I'm keeping well away. I advise you to do the same.
Where can I get a better weapon?
Depends on what you're after. Some swear by a good blade. Others prefer the heft of an axe. I'm a hunter, so I favour a bow and arrow. I've got a couple of nice specimens here, actually. For the right price, I'm sure I could part with one or two.
Let's trade. What do you hunt in the swamp?
Less and less. There are only a few beasties. They may look unappetizing, but you'd be surprised what our cook can do. About the only thing left big enough to feed us all is this large worm over to the west. But he's a big fella. I really need help to take him down. Probably a bit of help to keep him down after I've eaten him too.
How about I help you hunt this worm?
Oh, that's good of you. Tell you what, if we kill that thing together, I'll give you 30 gold. I hope you're well prepared. Don't want your death on my conscience.
Come on, let's go kill this rot worm.
That's the spirit? Right. Ready your weapon and stay close to me.
Attack!
See, that's what being a hunter is all about. The thrill of the hunt, the buzz of the kill. Ah, that's made my week, that has.
I've killed that worm. You don't need to worry about it.
One less worm is no bad thing. Here, have 30 gold for your trouble. Hey, if you're going to the camp, can you take this raw meat with you? They always need food there. Just give it to Rachel, the cook. I'm going to stay here, see if I can spot my next challenge.
Hey,
Hey,
any trouble today?
no,
Expecting any?
no,
Must be fun being a guard.
not really.
What exactly do you guard in a swamp?
Flies, the smell, the dawn,
The Don.
back there in that temple. But my post is here, in the swamp.
Sounds like an important job. What is there round here that people need guarding from?
You must have seen them.
Seen what?
Those things.
Things?
The things from the ruins.
There are ruins everywhere.
The ones that came up from the ground. The ground is warped or something.
That's where these things are.
Yeah. They're all over that excavation site in the middle of the swamp.
And?
They make me nervous.
Why?
They're disgusting.
Uh-huh. You ever have any problems with the locals?
Locals. They give you any trouble, you just smack them around.
Or you could try talking to them. Who's in charge here?
The Don.
Who?
The Don.
Right. You don't talk much.
What do I want to talk for? I don't know you.
Where is the Don?
In the temple.
Is he religious?
Ha!
So what does he do in there?
Avoids being out here.
Getting anything out of you is like pulling teeth.
That's why I make such a good guard.
All right, let's try this question. Tell me more about these things. The ones in the excavation site.
They're disgusting. Big insect things. I wish someone would get rid of them.
I can. I'd need paying. Say 30 gold coins.
30? Yeah. It's worth that to get rid of those things. They're disgusting.
Keep my gold warm. I'll be back for it. You must have picked up some skills to be a guard.
I know how to fight, and I can handle a crossbow.
Can you train me?
To fire a crossbow? All right. But it will cost you.
A little more for me. more for me. Job done. You needn't worry about those things in the excavation site anymore.
You killed them? Right. 30 gold coins, wasn't it? Worth every one.
Thanks. Pleasure talking to you.
Right.
I'll look forward to our next conversation.
What do you want?
I don't know. What do I want?
You were looking at me.
I'm new here. I'm just getting to know people.
If you don't know I'm the best fighter in the camp, then you ain't been here long enough for me to care.
Looks good. I think that's cooked. You alone out here?
What?
Are you alone out here?
Yeah, don't yell, I'm not deaf. You seen my full of beer glass thing goes smash if you drop it.
You're drunk.
So, I'd rather be dead drunk than dead, and we're all gonna die soon anyway. You wait. When the white robe shows up, we'll all be as dead men.
Wide robes.
Yeah, the white robes. White! From the
Inquisition.
Yeah. What do white robes want in a swamp? Huh? They'll end up brown robes. Ha! Stinking. Swamp.
Yeah. And what can you tell me about the white robes?
They're everywhere. Came from the sea, from the mainland, and now they're sweeping across the island, wrecking everything.
Have you ever met a white robe?
Are you insane? Huh? I'd run like a stabbed rat if I ever saw one.
I can believe it.
Where's that damn bottle? It's my bottle. Give it back, you stinking swamp.
You mean a beer bottle?
That's what I said. You got bad hearing, you know that. The bottle was right. It was here. No, here somewhere.
Don't you think you've had enough?
Enough? Enough? Oh, I can't drink enough. Have you been to the Don's camp? I can tell you once you've spent a couple of days there. You'll start on the sauce too, believe me. If you'd been there, you'd be me.
Why? What's wrong with the camp?
Bunch of total arsehole bastards. Always screwing each other over. I don't trust a single one of them. The worst bastard is Brogar. A nasty piece of work. He's a bastard's bastard.
Tell me more about this Brogar.
The whole damn place is under his thumb. Officially. Officially, yeah. Officially, he's just the boss of the fighters. The Don's lieutenant. But he's more than that. Every man there's terrified of him. Even his shadow's scared of him. Because that Brogar, he wants to replace the Don, doesn't he? Yeah, he does.
Right. You seem to know a lot about Brogar.
More than you think, and not just about Brogar. You get me more beer, and then I'll really tell you something.
I get you more beer and I'll be lucky to understand you. I'll see what I can do. Hey.
I've not seen you before. Who are you? A fresh-faced young man eager to experience the thrill of an outlaw's life?
Maybe.
I can't think why else you'd be here. There are warm alehouses and welcoming brothels in the town. Food and indoctrination at the monastery.
Are you a woodcutter for the camp?
Just because I'm cutting wood doesn't mean I'm a woodcutter. Actually, I'm a hunter. My lads and I provide meat for the camp.
So you lead the hunters?
Normally, yeah, but as you can see, I've got vital woodcutting work to do. So right now, my hunters are running wild like free spirits. Or they think they are.
Shouldn't you get someone else to cut the wood?
I'd love to, believe me. But Brogar would nail me to a tree if I left this wood unsawn.
Brogar?
One of the Don's lieutenants. The leader of the fighters. A, shall we say, powerful, single-minded man.
And you're his personal woodcutter?
For my sins.
Why does he want you to do it?
I tangled with him, and now I have to pay. We live by Brogar's laws out here.
Brogar's laws? Not the Don's?
The Don wants me to hunt, Brogar wants his fire stoked. You judge who's really in charge.
Why don't you stand up to Brogar?
Him and all his fighters, you mean?
So everyone's afraid of him.
You clearly haven't met him yet. Then you'd understand. He's over there. Go and introduce yourself. Then decide whether you'd stand up to him. Nobody knows.
Hey.
Did I look like I wanted to talk to you?
Whoa there. Someone shoot your dog?
Stupid and mouthy don't wash well round here. Especially not from workers.
Do I look like a worker?
Maybe not. You ain't coated in shit. Now enough questions. I'm hungry. Bring me a haunch of fried meat from Rachel, the cook up by the smithy. Bit snooty, but a looker. The Don's a lucky man. Of course, with him in that temple all the time, she might need a bit of company.
Waif and stray looking for pity? Or fortune hunter looking for gold? Looks like I've got another mouth to feed.
Are you the cook?
Amongst other things, you have to be adaptable in these times. One day you've a sword in your hand, the next a ladle. And the cooking relaxes me, if you call stirring wild boar and bruggelweed cooking. Sorry, forgotten my manners. I'm Rachel. Here, new mouth, take this meat, freshly cooked.
Brogar wants a haunch of fried meat.
And he sent you to get it for him? Lazy devil. Well, I've already given you some meat, so you can sort Brogar out yourself.
I need to talk to the Don.
Join the queue. I'm thinking of joining it myself. You can talk to me. When Esteban's busy, and he's always busy, I'm in charge.
Noted. But can you get me in to see him?
No. Look, he needs time alone to think. I'm always having to turn people away, even his good friends. Why would I make an exception for a newcomer?
I don't trust the Inquisition. I want to join Don Esteban's gang.
Another person without a home. I don't even recognize you from Harbour Town. Are you sure you're not with the Inquisition, new mouth? If you want to stay, then you'd better make yourself useful. Everyone needs to pull their weight here, and no one gets to see Esteban unless they have something valuable or important for him.
How are things around here?
Perfect. I don't know why we didn't move out of the town into the swamp earlier. The Inquisition are sucking the life out of the town, but this swamp is sucking the life out of us. We used to be close, all of us. Everyone made their share, worked for their share. Now it's falling apart. And with Esteban in that damn temple, I'm the one trying to hold it together.
Why do you think things are falling apart here?
It's those ruins. They've got everyone's mind on treasure, even my Esteban. The whole place is being dug up, although I'm certain that not everything that's being found is being delivered to the camp. Esteban makes sure that all the workers get a share of the gold. He's very fair like that. But someone is looking to line their own pockets.
Who do you think it is lining their own pockets? And what would happen to them if you knew who it was?
He'd be dead. Esteban's not a forgiving man.
So it seems. Can I help?
And why would you want to do that? What do you want, new mouth? Lazy cutthroats, idle thieves, and mosquitoes. Why do you want in on this?
You think the Don is losing control?
He's a complicated man. The Inquisition's takeover of Harbour Town shook him up badly. All we've got is this place, and it's fragile, especially at the moment. I really don't need someone stirring up trouble.
You sound like you need help. What if I help out?
You do that. But, well, if you really want to stick your hand in this beehive, you're welcome to. We can certainly use the help. Everything seems to have ground to a halt. Go to the camp lieutenants and see what sort of problems they're having. That should help you get a picture of what's happening here. Maybe we can root out the source of this rot before it reaches Esteban.
About your camp.
I was told you're short of food. You need more meat?
Finally, someone who wants to do some work. Yes, I need 10 haunches of raw meat. You bring me the meat, and I'll put a little gold your way.
I never say no to gold. So who are the lieutenants here?
If you can't find that out yourself, how are you going to help me? Just go and talk to everyone. You'll find them. You'll soon see who's in charge and who thinks they are.
By the way, Lewis claims Brogar wants to replace the Don.
Brogar's always been trouble, but since we've been in this swamp, Esteban's absence has really lowered morale. It gets tongues wagging and hands lazy. I wish he could see that. Talk to the men. This could be just the thing to get Esteban going again. Show him how bad things have got. But I'm going to need more proof than the word of a drunken hunter.
They're everywhere. Theirs can be sharp. It's very important.
Here, a haunch of fried meat.
Good. You wouldn't want to see me when I ain't been fed.
Got any proper work for me?
Are you actually good for something, little fish?
Easy to be cocky with that weapon and fancy armour of yours.
Nah, it's all the bodies I buried that make me cocky. 2 of my boys are supposed to be guarding the eastern swamp farm, but Clay's been lazing around the campfire. Go and see him. Make sure he takes over from Phil before Phil rots up there. Simple. I'm not losing another man to this fucking swamp.
Get Clay to take over from Phil. Sounds simple enough.
The farm's over to the east. As it's a simple job, I'll assume you'll get it done.
Do you boys do anything other than stand about all day?
They're guarding. What do you expect? When it comes to standing around all day, these guys are the best. Trained killers, though, the lot of them. And if those creatures from the temples march in here, you'll be damn glad of them. So, show a little respect.
The fighters answer to you, right?
Yeah, most of them owe their lives to me. One way or another, they know not to mess with a big fish.
So you know where they are at all times?
Course. Well, usually. One of them has gone missing. Dorgan was on an errand for me, down in the swamps. The pillock's probably got himself lost, or eaten, or he's chasing wenches again, never could keep his mind on the task in hand.
I'll look for him.
When I get my hands on him, he's going to be emptying piss pots for the next month.
I'd rather have a good meal than an afterthought.
You see why people don't stand up to Brogar?
A few bruises won't stop me.
You're lucky it wasn't stab wounds.
His armor and those fighters make him feel tougher than he is.
For you, maybe. For me, that's why I don't tangle with him.
Brogar is a big fish in a small pond.
And those are giant words. So big, I don't think you know what you're saying.
I know some people wouldn't have a problem if he disappeared.
I won't be responsible for what Brogar would do to you.
Let me worry about that.
You should worry. But you're serious, aren't you?
What would I have to do to deal with him?
If you work for him, do what he tells you and listen to everything he says. He'll let things slip. But you do know what you're proposing is dangerous.
How can I become one of the Don's men?
Firstly, I'll need to tell you a couple of things. The Don's a powerful man. Well, he was. Since we've been in this swamp, he's hidden in that temple. Hasn't been out for weeks. His wife Rachel's been trying to run the camp. She's the one you need to impress if you want to meet the Don.
Rachel. Right.
Before you charge up to her, you need to be aware of...
Brogar?
You're learning.
I need some better armor.
You won't find it out here. There's only workers' clothes here.
Well, what about your armor? Where did that come from?
Armor for the hunters and fighters comes from the Don. But you won't get close to that if you're not accepted as one of us.
Right, so I've got to join the Don's gang first. All right. Where can I get workers' clothing?
Hawkins is your man. He's one of the Don's lieutenants. He's in charge of the workers.
Why can't I get to talk to the Don himself?
If you can't get Rachel on your side, maybe you could get past the guard at the temple. Maybe.
Sounds like it could be worth a try.
True, but it's a long shot. Rachel might be your best way in.
I could help you.
Helpful sort, aren't you? You better not have landed me in it with Brogar. But then one's trouble is another's ease. Rachel needs this meat, so she'll be happy. Take note, sometimes it's better to take sides than end up in the middle.
About your hunting. What can you tell me about your hunters?
Well, there's Lewis. Haven't seen him for days. I expect he's under a rock in the swamp. Not even the swamp flies bother him when he's had a skinful. Doug should also be in the swamp. He should be hunting. I haven't seen him for days either. And of course you know what delightful tasks I have to do.
Lewis isn't going to stop drinking anytime soon.
I know. But when he's sober, or even when he's half cut, he's a damn good hunter.
I met a hunter called Yan. You haven't mentioned him.
He got himself posted as a guard on the road to Harbour Town. We never see him back here these days. That's another hunter less feeding the camp.
Doug has been successful. He's given me some meat for the camp.
We needed that. You better take it to Rachel if you haven't given it to her already.
Both your hunters are back out doing their job.
Are they? You work fast.
Your team's not the best I've seen.
You take what you find. They're what I found. As for your training, maybe I can help.
About Brogar. How does Rachel feel about him?
She's soft. Brogar bullies her, and she's like that even though the Don's behind her.
Word has it that Brogar wants to replace the Don.
That much is obvious. There isn't a man in the place who hasn't worked that out. But it's not something anyone says out loud. Words can get you killed.